Hey, today is on the video is Sunday, March the 12th, day 17. I stayed the night at Derek Knobb's shelter. There was a good number of people in the shelter when I got there. I got there after the 22 miles up into the Smokies. A great day of hiking on Saturday. Sunday was not a good day. It was tough. Very, very difficult, wet, raining, low 30s, not freezing. At some points there was freezing rain, other points it wasn't. You're gonna see in this video how tough a day it was. I want to talk to you about the shelter. There was a good group of people, mostly all through hikers in the shelter, and everybody hunkered down. There were about 4 or 5 tents outside the shelter. Everybody just kind of hunkered down. The rain started at 10 p.m. and never let up all night long. Our shelter leaked. One of the ladies inside got her bag wet. I felt so sorry for her, and she just, when I was about to leave the shelter, I was the only one that I left before everybody, so I don't know what everybody did, but she was just sitting in the shelter, just about to cry, I think, because her stuff was wet from the night of rain. It was a very tough night, very tough day. The second day for me in the Smokies was unbelievable. And the sound is not real good on the video because the wind's blowing so hard and it's raining constantly all day long. And you'll see, and I hope you can pick up most of the video, hear what I'm saying, but it's tough. It's not an easy video. So here it is. This is the second day in the Smokies. This is day 17, Sunday, March the 12th. Hey, good morning, everybody. Today is Sunday, March the 12th, day 17. And just as beautiful as it was yesterday, it's just as bad today. It's 34 degrees and been raining since 10 o'clock last night. I stayed at Derek Knobb's shelter. I've been on the trail for an hour or so this morning. Last night was time change. I didn't get daylight at the shelter until after 7 o'clock. It was after that before you really not use a light. But it's cold. I'm here trying to make it up to Clingman's Dome today. I don't know if I'll make it or not. But it's a tough day today. I got all my rain gear on. Frog togs. I've got my rain mitts on over my wool gloves. And it's a chore to stay dry. But the wind is blowing about 35 miles an hour. You come over these peaks and it's blowing like crazy with the steady rain. It's supposed to stop sometime today, this morning, I'm hoping. I hope it'll give us a break and get out of the rain soon at least, maybe. All right, just hadn't had a chance to video much today because of the weather. Every time I stop, I get cold, so I have to keep rolling. Take my gloves off and do phone, answer texts, anything anybody been texting, I don't know how I'm doing. 22 miles yesterday, and I don't think I'll get anywhere close to that today because the weather is just hampering everything. Every step's sloshy, muddy step, or slippery. All right, it is what it is. You got to do it. You got to get through the Smokies. Keep pushing. Talk to y'all later. Slacked off a little bit. It is just wet, wet, wet. Check this out. The rain froze on the trees. guess that's freezing rain, huh? You know, start having limbs down everywhere. Climbing, came up higher. Definitely freezing rain. Bad news in Mississippi when this happens. Shelter. See if I can do the walk and film at the same time. I wanted you to be able to see all this ice, frozen rain. And I wanted to talk a minute about another through hiking. Oh, shoot. It's slick. Sorry. As you can see, it was very difficult to film, walk, talk. You couldn't hear me half the time because it was so windy and so rainy. This next little section is it's at Double Spring Gap Shelter. And I was going to sit down inside and talk to you, but there were two guys in there trying to get out of the rain. And so I just took some photos without them in the photo. But this shelter is the last shelter that my brother and I spent with our dad. Our dad loved to hike, and we came up here to this shelter on New Year's Day, 1981, the three of us. It was a 0-degree night. We spent the night in that shelter. And he had cancer, and we had trouble even getting him back up the mountain and get him out. And so that was the shelter that we stayed in. And I wanted to talk to you then about it, but I couldn't because those two guys were in there. And my dad passed away April 3rd after that. And that was the last trip we did together. But that shelter meant a lot to me, and I was hoping to spend some time there. But those two guys were there, so it wasn't fair to them or me. So I just took a couple of pictures and then kept heading on up the road, on up the trail. All right, I want to let you know why I have those pictures in here like they are, and they're coming next. Thanks. This by far has been the most difficult day. Only gone 10 miles. It's been a hard 10 miles. I made it to Clingman's Dome. Nice point on the AT. I don't think I'm going up though. I've been up it a couple times in my life. It's been a while. Yesterday's 22 put the heart whipping on me, I guess. Not getting enough nutrients either. I need to eat more. And it's been raining all day long. I ain't completely soaked. Water's found its way under my suit. In my shoes, my socks are soaked. I have these little liners that go over your gloves. They're supposed to be waterproof. My gloves are wet inside those liners. This is a happy day to be here. In my last video, I was falling down trying to video. I didn't get hurt or anything. I just decided I better stop the video, and then I made it to Double Springs, and there were 2 people there, and I wanted to talk to you about my dad. And didn't get to do that. I'm gonna talk about my dad at some point, but Double Springs was the last place that we hiked together. We went to that shelter that I sent you pictures of. All right, I'm gonna keep on going. I got miles to get. It's cold. Okay, started picking up better time coming downhill from Klingman's Dome, and I wanted to show you this, how neat all this was in here. It's almost like a bog, some kind of different planet even. There's moss everywhere. Ever since I left, gosh. Okay, that's twice. Ever since I left Double Spring Gap, it looks like, I don't know how to explain all this moss. Everything's covered in moss in here. It's been this way for miles. It's just like almost like a different planet. But it's beautiful in its own way. I have to watch my step a little better. I've got a ride lined up. And I'm judged. If I don't make like better than average time, I'll be late. So I've been getting it, not filming much. I just can't resist all of this in here. And the rain let up just a little bit too, so I could film. It's pretty neat in here. Trails, of course, just be so much better if it wasn't so wet. My feet are soaked. Everything on me's soaked, really. My frog togs have kept my top dry, but water's kind of gotten in between my top and my pants, and so my shorts are wet underneath my pants. And of course, my feet are just completely soaked. This is all spruce, and when I was up at higher elevation, I think this is spruce, somebody might correct me there, but when I was up at higher elevation, where all that freezing rain was, all the limbs were just coated in ice, and I was having a fight to get through it because it was blocking the trail. There wasn't any trees down, just all the limbs hanging over the trail. All right, I gotta make some time. I'm gonna put this up. Talk to you later. Made it to Indian Gap. And Newfound Gap is still 1.7 miles. I got about 30 minutes or so. I gotta keep going. It's just straight down the trail. All right. Talk to you later. This is off of the highway, goes over the top through the Smokies. It's just a little parking area. It's called Indian Gap, I think. Pretty sure. Talk to you later. Hello, everybody. I made it down, caught a ride at Newfound Gap, and came down, got a room at the Holiday Inn Express in Gatlinburg. So that turned out pretty good. I got all my clothes washed and dried because everything was soaking. Got a good meal, and I'll be back on the trail at 8 in the morning. So he's picking me up. My same guy's gonna pick me up at 7 here, and I'll be right back on the trail. So that turned out to be pretty good. 41.5 miles in 2 days. That's getting it pretty good for an old guy like me. So I know where I'm gonna stay tomorrow night, and then I should be able to get out the next night. So planning to make it to Tri-Corner Knob Shelter, and then the hostel at the end, the Standing Bear Hostel, which is at the end of the park, right at I-40. So then I'll be done with the Smokies. I haven't got as much video as I wanted. Today was terrible, just to put it bluntly. Too much rain. Every time I get my phone out, start filming, I failed twice trying to film. I don't know if I'm gonna show you that, but two different times I was trying to film and walk in the mud and just slip and fail. Neither time was bad, but just falling, holding your phone, trying to film is not good. So could have gotten hurt, didn't. So it was a good day though, because I ended up getting somewhere around 18 miles. So I was glad that was the minimum I wanted to get to stay on course to get out in 4 days. So looks like that's going to happen as long as they open the road in the morning, which is still raining. It was raining down here in Gatlinburg just a little while ago when I got supper. So hopefully the roads are open and I can get back on it at Newfound Gap. All right, I will talk to y'all tomorrow. This is the end of day 17, Sunday, March the 12th. So see you tomorrow on day 18. Good night. One other thing, I passed the 200 mile mark there at Clingman's Dome and I didn't even video it. I was hurting pretty good at that point, but I managed to go ahead and get 7 more miles in after that. But anyway, that was a good milestone, another milestone down, 200 down, 20 more of those to go. Long way. See you later.